Hello everybody and welcome to episode 10 of Park Golf TV. We're both back in the UK now, me and Luke once again back doing the show. How was Ibiza?
Yeah, it was good. Nice to get a bit of sunshine.
You're back and refreshed and ready to go?
Fully refreshed.
Okay, and I'm back now and started saying about the benefits of playing golf abroad, but the weather's still beautiful here, so it's the UK's fine for now. Right, so for now, yeah. This week we're going to be talking about getting golf lessons and what they involve and basically what you're going to get out of your first one, because there's so many people come here and they'll say, oh, I need to get a lesson, I'll get one soon, but at the end of the day I don't know what they're waiting for, because it's not like you're going to achieve any more by consistently hitting balls, perhaps not the right way. So we've compiled a few questions here of the general sorts of things that that we get asked. So we're going to put them together now, all right? Yeah, we're going to put them together now, and I'm going to ask Luke to put aside any fears you may have and encourage you, because it's for the benefit of your game after all. So, as I say, we hear this quite a lot, don't we? With people saying, waiting to get them. But what do you think the fears are, or
change?
Yeah.
Especially, obviously, not so much for beginners, but you know, your average club golfer who's played 15, 20 years, they really don't want to change. But you know, if you ask the majority of them throughout the year, the golfing season, are they happy with their golf? They'd more often than not say they're not happy. There's stuff they'd like to improve. But the hardest part of the lesson with the club golfer now, this is you know, the mid-handicapper, somewhere between sort of 10 and 28, is the fact that when you give a lesson, they don't like how different it feels. It feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it feels alien, yeah.
It's difficult to get them to stick to it, but the ones who do stick to it, they're the ones that become the low handicappers in the game. They're the ones that are out there regularly finishing, you know, in the prizes in your local club competitions. You know, it's not by luck that they've got there. They just stick to the changes. They get through that sort of pain barrier, if you like, or that.
Start working into their swing memory and stuff.
I mean, it's tough to break muscle memory. Unfortunately, with this game, our habits are hard to change, and you know, you have to go through that uncomfortable period. I mean, you know, the top players in the world, as soon as you'll see them, they kind of disappear for a little bit because they're off concentrating more on a new movements. You know, once they've got it right, they'll be at a different level to what they were before. It's always about working towards an end goal than you know, constantly going back to square one. Okay,
so the three most common types of people who we see perhaps concerned about getting lessons, I'd say, is the total beginners who have recently taken up the game, need some direction, but they think that only the better players get lessons.
Yeah.
There's the people who, like you say, they've built in their own habits so much that they are scared of the change.
Yeah.
And then there's the older generation who perhaps think that
they can't improve because they're too old, which again is so
not
far
supple
from the
enough.
truth. Yeah.
So, as I say, the biggest concern.
Another thing about lessons is people think that it's one. You know, there's only one way to swing a golf club, or they'll, you know, teacher will just try and get them to swing like everyone else. You know, a 60-year-old to swing the same as a 20-year-old. That's certainly not the way I teach. You've got to play to everyone's strengths. You know, in a few swings of a customer I can see, you know, strengths and weaknesses, and obviously things they're going to be capable of or not. Again, I'd
and
never
what they think is a problem is usually caused by a knock-on effect from something else.
So there's always a cause for a problem. We don't just particularly do a fault because we feel like it. There's always a reason we have that fault. But again, I'd never try and get somebody who's a bit older, less flexible, to try and swing like a 20-year-old. It's never going to happen.
That's my question. Right,
I
okay.
knew that one's coming, you see. So
if I've just started playing golf a couple of weeks ago. I need lessons, but I'm not sure about getting a lesson. What happens in lesson number one? What are you going to change?
Again, most important in golf is not just lesson number one. The first few is just constantly working on your basics. If you want to swing the club properly and efficiently, you've got to have good basics. And there's four main basics, which is grip, posture, ball position, alignment. Again, if you can't grip the club, you can't swing a golf club effectively and efficiently. You know, it takes a while to learn the grip because, again, it's the same thing. People want to go back to what's comfortable. But the best advice you can ever give to a beginner, if you try and help them out yourself, is forget about the swing, just work on the grip. You know, I haven't got a club in my hands, and to do demonstrations for you now, but the grip influences hugely what we do on the backswing and on the through swing. But people, so I hear it on the range when they're teaching their friends, you know, they never pick up on these points. They're always straight into the swing, concentrate on the swing straight away. That is not the way to learn the game at all.
Okay, so when people are first starting to play, the club that most people are obsessed with getting a grip off and firing well is the driver. But as we know, the driver is the one that highlights the faults the most.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what's the best club to use to try and get some sort of, what's the best one
A mid-iron
to practice with?
A mid-iron, so I'm talking to like a 7-iron, between 6, 7, 8, either of those clubs is an ideal one to learn. And I've said it before, I say it all the time, that once you learn how to hit like 7-iron consistently and comfortably, you know, working towards hitting the driver, it's much easier. You can never learn the game trying to hit driver. I can appreciate how much fun, especially for beginners, how much fun it is to try and hit the driver, but it's not the club to learn the game with at all.
Okay, so stick with the 7-iron for now. So back to what we were talking about before. How do you approach a lesson differently? If it's beginner, or somebody who's been playing, or somebody who's older and doesn't think they're as flexible, and you think you're going to try and make them do things that their body isn't capable of.
Well,
So how do you approach it differently?
First of all, you've got to put them at ease, and you've got to talk to what beginners are slightly different. You know, the beginners you're trying to follow, you're trying to get into good basics. Like I said, that's the only thing you should really be caring about with a beginner. Build their swing slowly. With the older customer, it's again depends if they've been playing, you know, what they're trying to get out of the game. Again, they're always looking to go and get a bit more distance, and showing them simple little ways how to get that without, again, with a golf swing, the more efficient it is, the less stress it puts on your body. Most people are putting so much stress and they're hitting the backstop because they're not turning, or they're trying to generate power from the wrong way, basically. So that's why they find the hard work on their bodies. I say once you've got an effective swing, you know, the power will come effortlessly. But in terms of approaching it differently, again, you just got to use your knowledge that you've gained. It's and you can see. You've got
It depends on the individual.
Yeah, it depends on the individual. You know, some seniors are a bit more flexible than others. It's just working with what you've got. You don't try and mould everyone to the same, you know, design or swing. You've got to, as I said a minute ago, work with their strengths and weaknesses. You can see what they're capable of, and if they're going to be able to get where you'd like them, and so you work back from there, really.
Okay. So hopefully that's given you a bit more of an insight as to what a lesson involves, and if you was any concerns that you had, it's ironed them out. But we've put quite a few videos out so far, Luke showing different tips on our channel, on our YouTube channel. So if you have a watch of those, and then you can see the sort of stuff he teaches. If there's anything you'd like to have a chat with him about, just get in touch and he'll sort you out with the lesson.
Just quickly add in about the videos and tips that I tend to do are for pretty much make sense for everyone to do. Whereas if you read the tips you read in magazines and you see a lot on YouTube designed to try and fix a fault, the problem with those types of fixes is they're only relevant to somebody who has a specific fault that causes their slice. I say people,
And is aware of it.
yeah, people have bad shots, like a slice or hook, for complete different reasons. You could have two people who hit big hooks. They're doing different things in their golf swing, so one fix for one isn't going to fix the other one. That's the problem with all these tips that you find in magazines.
Yeah.
I mean, every single month, pretty much Golf Monthly or whichever one they're called, will always have fix your slice in 10 minutes, and they'll be telling you complete different ways to fixing it. And if you keep spending your time every week reading these tips and then trying, you're just going to be going around in circles.
And it also comes back to when you've got a friend who tells you, like we've said it before, when you've got a friend who tells you, just because they found a fix for them doesn't mean it's going to be relevant for you.
True.
Coming back to hopefully being an individual.
So that's how I was trying to make my videos quite simple and the ones that make sense for everyone to do.
Okay, we're done with lessons.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, right. With us approaching winter, we're going to be making more use of the sim this winter, and we're actually trying to think about doing a winter league in here. So I'll be sending an email out to everybody this Sunday. Just give us your feedback and let us know what it is you're wanting, what sort of format you'd like to see, if it's something you'd be interested in doing. I mean, the sim is pretty much as accurate as possible. It's 99.999% accurate. Obviously, it is a machine, so there's slight tolerances allowed, but I mean, you're not going to get more accurate. There's handicaps included. It's a really good way of kind of improving your game and keeping playing without all the waterproofs and stuff.
In a nice warm room.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking at doing over the winter. So if that's of interest to you, just get in touch, give us some ideas, give us some feedback. We're just trying to come up with more stuff to keep it interesting for you. Now, we've got, as well as me doing my single figure handicap challenge over 12 months, Luke's set himself a new challenge.
Quite a big one.
And do you want to tell him what it is?
Yes, I'm going to try over the next few months, try to increase my driving distance somewhere up to the 400-yard mark. That's my goal's at 400, as close as I can get to that.
Over 400 we're going for, aren't we? We've got to set the target big.
400
so go for it.
And others is the limit, not the limit, sorry, is the goal, the end goal. We're going to work up slowly. I'm going to be doing videos each kind of week almost, showing my progress as I build up towards that kind of distance. So it's something I've always wanted to kind of do, put some effort into trying to hit the ball a bit further.
I'll link up a video here of we're going to do a video on that shortly, so I'll link that up somewhere around here, so you'll be able to see how he's getting on with that. Today is day one, so we'll see what we're starting with.
I'm also, just quickly mentioning, going to be putting a 6-week course together purely for people who want to learn how to hit the ball further. So there's going to be some information going out about that. It's just going to be a 6-week course purely designed on learning to hit the ball further with the driver. There's going to be some sessions in the sim, but it'll be like 6-hour lessons or hour and a half, something like that.
So if you want to outdrive your mates, then that's
purely for
you to see. So about your 400-yard challenge then.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about are you using a standard club?
Yeah.
How are you going about it?
I'll be using a standard club. It gets to the point that I need to have a slightly, because the guys who do the long drive competitions, they have generally, I think they play with like a 48.5 or 49-inch driver.
What's standard?
45. So the extra length, one increases swing speed, so obviously that's going to increase ball speed. Obviously, that could be one road, but it'd be interesting to see how far I can get with the standard. I'm pretty confident about this challenge. I'm certainly getting close. I say that it's going to be interesting in the next few weeks to see how far. Today, as we stand, going to do some bit more later, but it's 3:43 I'm up to at the moment. That's my start.
Total distance.
That's my starting point. Yeah, total distance. So I know it's a long way, another 60 almost yards, but I'm pretty confident I can get up there. We're
going to wait till it's frosty.
Yeah, get it frosty. Bounce down those hard fairways. That'll be a bit cheating, but one way doing it.
We can go 500 in that case. Okay, so I've got my single finger handicap challenge. Luke's got his 400-yard challenge. So just comment in the box below, what are your golfing challenges? What have you set yourself as targets? Because if you set yourself targets, generally you will achieve them or get close to them, rather than just going at something and not really having any sort of direction.
But as well as just, so you have your main target or your main goal, you want to set yourself small little steps to get there. If you just set yourself a big goal and just aim for that, you won't really get anywhere. It's best to set small little steps on how to get there. I'm not expecting to go from 3:43 today to 360. 400. I'm setting myself small little goals. I've got them, set out. So I'm going to try and hit each one. Eventually leads to the 400 yards.
Yeah. So as I say, get in touch. Let us know. Comment below. Got anything you want to say about the show, or just tell us your goals. You can also get in touch via our Twitter channel, via our Twitter page @TravelantGolf. So that's it for episode 10, and we shall see you next week.